Why Did Grandpa Die? A Book About Death by Barbara Shook Hazen, illustrated by Pat Shores. Are you ready? Here we go. When Molly was a baby, everyone said she took after Grandpa. She had his dimples, his curly hair, and his curiosity. And she gave him her first smile. How nice. As Molly grew older, she and Grandpa grew closer. She took her to the park and taught her how to sail a boat. Afterwards, he always made pink lemonade his special way. Everyone said Molly and Grandpa were alike as two peas in a pod. They both liked mushed ice cream, wildflowers, and woodsy walks. Ooh, pretty cool. They both didn't like big ocean waves. Yeah, those are kind of scary. Lima beans. Well, I respect their opinion on that because I like lima beans. And being told to hurry. Yeah, I don't like that either. Being told to hurry. I mean, if someone tells me to hurry or starts rushing me, it makes me want to tell them, lay off, will ya? Let us continue. One day, Molly and Grandpa planted a wildflower garden by the back fence. Grandpa showed Molly how to prepare the ground and plant the seeds and put down markers. That means like little signs to mark the plants, not like the markers you draw with. While planting, Molly found a dead butterfly. Look, Grandpa, he isn't moving, said Molly. He won't move or fly ever again, said Grandpa. They buried the butterfly in the soft ground and put a pretty egg-shaped stone on top to mark the place. How can he breathe under the ground? Molly asked. He's dead now. He doesn't breathe, said Grandpa. But it is nice to remember how he was when he was alive. That is true. The next day, Grandpa was going to take Molly sailing in a real boat as an early birthday treat. But Grandpa didn't feel well. His chest hurt, and he had trouble catching his breath. He whispered he would take Molly another day. But you promised, said Molly. I want to go now. Yes, I know, said Grandpa, but I don't feel up to it. Molly, her mother said sharply, don't pester Grandpa. Okay, said Molly, even though it wasn't okay. Molly was angry because Grandpa broke his promise to her. Yeah, it doesn't really feel right when someone breaks their promise to you. Now, does it? The day after that, Grandpa went to a hospital. As he left, he told Molly, don't worry, they're going to fix me up just fine. We'll go sailing when I get back. Okay, said Molly, giving Grandpa a get-well kiss. Aww. But Grandpa didn't get better. Instead, he got sicker. Now, a lot of the time, Molly's mother acted cross and her father was sad. Now, Molly played in her room a lot. Then one day, the phone rang and Molly heard her mother say, "Oh no," in a funny voice. Molly wanted to ask what was wrong, but she didn't because she was scared it was about something bad, and maybe it was about something bad she had done. Molly's father came home right away. He hugged Molly hard and said, "Grandpa is gone." "Where'd he go?" asked Molly. "And why didn't he take me?" "Grandpa is dead," Molly's father said. "He can't be dead," said Molly. "He said they'd fix him up just fine." He was very old, and he was old and very ill, and couldn't be fixed up, even with good care, Molly's father said. Then he held Molly tighter and started to cry. Molly was upset and wriggled away. She ran to her room and lay on her bed. She felt empty and awful and frightened, but she didn't feel like crying. Excuse me. Soon, Molly's father came in. He sat on the edge of the bed and said, "Grandpa was my father, and I loved him very much. I know you loved him very much too, and he loved you very, very much." "Then why did Grandpa have to go and die?" asked Molly. "Everything that lives has to die someday," said Molly's father softly. "Death is the end of life." Molly threw her panda pillow. "But he'd promised we go sailing. It isn't fair." "That's just how life is, Molly. Sometimes life isn't fair. But we have to learn to live with it and move on. And I'm really sorry about your grandfather. I truly am." Molly's mother came in later with some pink lemonade. "I don't want it the way you make it," Molly said. "I want Grandpa." "So do I. And so does your father," said Molly's mother. "But he's dead, and we can't see him again except in pictures and memories." "But I don't want him to be dead," said Molly, turning away. "Well, he'll always live on in your memories and in your heart. And that's the truth." A few days later, there was a funeral service for Grandpa. Everybody said nice things about him, but the service was long and the day was hot, and Molly felt wriggly. Some grown-ups cried a lot as if they couldn't stop, and that scared Molly. Oh dear. After the service, everybody went to the graveyard. There were lots of flowers there, but not the wild kind Grandpa liked. While more talking was going on, Molly picked some daisies. She put them in a bunch by the other flowers and said, "Goodbye, Grandpa." But she still had the feeling he would be back. The feeling gradually grew less, but Molly still missed Grandpa a lot. She missed him when the leaves fell and he wasn't there to giggle and kick the leaves with her. She missed him when her birthday came and there was no special pink lemonade and no present from Grandpa with a smile face instead of an ordinary card. She missed Grandpa when school started because lots of the time he used to take her. When it was her turn to tell what I did last summer, Molly talked the whole time about Grandpa, about what they did, and how he died. When she talked about it, it seemed more real. That night, Molly cried for the first time in a long time. Her mother held her close and cried too, and said, "Tears help you let out your sad feelings and then you can begin to feel better." It's true. When you feel a tear in your eye, it usually means you want to cry. So if you've been hurt and it hurts real bad, or if you have feelings that are making you sad, it's okay to cry. 'Cause I know that when I'm done crying, I can talk about what's bothering me. And though my face gets wetter, I feel much better if I talk about what's bothering me. Crying is nature's way of helping bad feelings go away. So if you've been hurt and are feeling sad, whether you're a kid or a mom or a dad, it's okay to cry, it's okay. 'Cause I know that when I'm done crying, I can talk about what's bothering me. And though my face gets wetter, I feel much better if I talk about what's bothering me. Yes, that works for me. By the time summer came again, Molly still missed Grandpa, but she didn't feel sad every time she thought of him. Now the garden she and Grandpa planted was in bloom. I wish he could see it, Molly told her mother while they were picking flowers. Well, he can see it. From heaven. I'll bet he's in heaven right now, watching over you. The garden is a nice present Grandpa left for us, said Molly's mother, and it helps us to remember him. Now, Molly understood at last that Grandpa would not be back, ever. But she still talked to him sometimes in the garden, which had been their special place. I talk to him because I still like to tell him things, even if he can't hear, Molly told her father one day while they were weeding. Later that summer, Molly's cousins came to visit. Molly showed them the garden. She told them Grandpa's stories and made them pink lemonade just the way Grandpa did it. He's dead, Molly told them. I'll never kiss him again or go places with him again, but I'll remember him, always. And Molly always did remember Grandpa, all the long while she was growing up and going on to new things. And she remembered him long after she was grown and had children of her own who loved Grandpa's pink lemonade and Grandpa's stories and a house full of flowers. The end. So remember, if you've ever lost a relative, try to talk about it with a friend or a family member or even someone you trust. And if you ever feel like you need to cry about it, go ahead, because it's okay to cry. Crying is not wrong. In fact, it'll help your bad feelings to go away. And you could even have a little hug, because that can help too. And even though they're not with you physically, they'll always be with you in your memories and in your hearts, for they are still a part of you. They'll always live on in your heart as long as you remember the things they taught you and the love you shared. So, in a way, you'll never be apart. See you later. Bye.